everybody. Thanks for joining us this week at MBE. It's Sunday night. We're here, so Biggs went through some manifold stuff that we got going on. We had talked about this last week. This is the A460 billet manifold that we offer in a cast also. Right now what we're making, Joe is in the middle of doing the CAD, all the CAD, drawing all of this, so meaning the valley tray, the plates that the manifold's going to attach to and everything. So this is going to be a really pretty piece when it's finished. And the most important part, it's going to look like a race piece. I can't wait. So far, the drawings he has are exceptional, like very excited about it. You probably don't, it looks like there's not a lot going on, at least to when we look around, but a lot of times what we do this time of year is we do a lot of development, so we're ready come November. So a lot of this is all the manifolds we've been doing the last 2 months. Okay, so now all that toolpath is written, it's proofed out, so now we're ready to go for November. So we can, when it gets busy, we're ready to go. We're finishing this up. So all these programs will be written, the toolpath will be proofed out, they're ready to go. All that stuff takes an exceptionally amount of time. I can't begin to tell you. But that's why we always set about 10 weeks a year to do that, so we can keep coming out with new products. If you look at us compared to others, typically, most people only come out with one new product a year. Typically, we are at 8 to 10 different products easily. So we'll have the A460, we'll have the valley tray and the plates for this. We just finished the 9.6, 9.8 Big 9 manifolds. We have development going on right now for our normally aspirated 8-degree small block forward head that we're putting in the John at CID's casting. So that will be another version of that. That'll give us, I think, 4 different versions that we put into that CID head, small block forward head. That's just some of the things. So we're always just go, 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 because, I don't know, that's what we like to do. Anyway, so let's go through here, Mr. Biggs. We'll show some of the stuff we got going on. We got billet pieces for the manifolds here. Here's another set of A460s. So this is getting a billet manifold, or not a billet manifold. This is getting a cast manifold right here. So we're getting a cast manifold for this. We're making the plates and everything. And then we have, this is Mr. Wallach sent these to us. This is just a service deal. So he had some parts breakage, so he sent these D3s to us to service them. So he's a drag racer, and this should be like an old set of cup heads is what these are. So they're not here to be updated or anything, just fixing them. You can see you got intake exhaust seat here, intake exhaust seat here, intake exhaust seat here. This head wasn't damaged too bad, so we've already decked it. There's weld put in this, and then we decked it. You can see Ian's very crafty with the welder, as you can tell. And when these get all finished, these will be I would say he'll have these finished tomorrow. So what we do is we have to add all this weld to it. Okay, and this way when we valve job it, there's not going to be a gap from the aluminum to the seat. So this is a rough valve job that's in this right now, just to get everything down before it goes on the epoch. And then we will mill the head. The other things we do, we'll run the spark plug tap through the holes. But what we do here is we have an undersized taps is what we use. So we're not making the hole any bigger. Those of you who have done some machine work and things like that know when you run a tap through an existing hole, material always comes out. So what we've done for years, what I was taught by a gentleman, Jim Becker, who recently passed away, who mentored me, was we order a special tap that's undersized, so it's just going to hit these threads here, and it's not going to take any threads off, so the plug's not going to be loose. We see it a lot. The stuff comes in, they go run a tap, think they're trying to help things, and they just make things way worse. But that's just all the little things we do to try and make it perfect when it leaves here. So this looks pretty rough. Maybe we get Jimmy to do a little come back tomorrow night and see how far we've gotten on this. I'm curious because it'll look significantly different. And then these are here. These are some just normal 24-degree Dart Pro ones. Nothing special or anything. This is for a spec class. So it's for a spec class. So the engine builder, because it's a spec class, they're trying to find any advantages they can. So these are just here to be valve jobbed on the epochs. And then for us to just look at everything to make sure everything is perfect, because we're not allowed to do much to these at all. Not here to be cheated up, just here to be done properly. Nothing against Dart, it's just wanted them sent here. I got plenty of good people at Dart. Go down here. These are the castings for the 8-degree normally aspirated small block Ford that we're doing that I talked about earlier. So these will be like for comp illuminator, truck pulling, things like that. What we've done, we've taken the intake port and the guide placement and everything from our billet Ford that we put all the time into, and we're putting it in this. Because of the casting, we've had to move some things around. That's taken a little bit of time in the CAD. Luckily for us, because we work with John at CID, he gives us the tools to help us, meaning he gives us the CAD of the water jack and everything so we can work around it and not have to guess. So this will be, so we had to do a new exhaust port for it because the exhaust port location is different where it comes out of on the exhaust flange. So no big deal there. Bob already has the port done, so Joey will be scanning that. I would say probably about a week from tomorrow. He'll be scanning that and we'll be writing toolpath to start machining these. So you got a cylinder head small block that does flow 500 CFM on a 1020 bench. It's a real number, and because it's NA, it's not a huge port. This is something that will accelerate. The port is very fast. The port's very, very fast, and the exhaust port's over 300. So it's got a 2310 intake valve and IPS 600 exhaust. So a lot of valve area. We got everything crammed in there and got the valves off the cylinder wall, which you need to do, or they don't accelerate down the track. Okay, and then we'll cut it here. More stuff being serviced over here. So it looks like, so this is a rebuild right here. So either Dave or Ian is checking all the valves for it. So if they're coated, they won't be ground, but then we check for straightness and things like that. If they're not coated, then we'll just touch them on the valve refacer and just make sure everything's perfect. If not, we'll just check them on with an indicator. Okay, and then these are Damon Merchant's, like I said. We might have these finished next week. I'm not sure. He's not in a big rush so far. But Damon Merchant won again. So very exciting. He won Saturday night.
Friday night.
Friday night. Whoops. He won Friday night. So we beat Kai Kelly. So very happy for him and Mark Nebus and all of his crew. Really happy for all of them. I'm sorry I forgot the guy that's helped him for years and years and years, his good friend, but he knows who I'm talking about. And but certainly want to thank Mark Nebus for making that car work so well. I think he's making us all look good. So very exciting, very happy for Damon. And coming through here, so we have. So these are the billet valve covers for our billet small block Ford and small block Chevy heads that we do. You can kind of see all this like it's like a 409. The reason why we did that was just to get weight out of the cylinder head. So because we were able to scallop all this out on the cylinder head side of the exhaust flange, our head only weighs 35 pounds and it's a billet. If you compare that to others, I know the one is 47 pounds. Well, that's 24 pounds on the car. Because you multiply it times 2. So, so these have a dovetail O-ring in them, so you don't have to run a gasket. And meaning it's a dovetail is that it goes in there and it's machined like this, and then it goes in there like this. But when the O-ring goes in it, it can't fall out. So when you put the valve cover on, you don't have to worry about it pinching and the cord coming out. And then we just take a cord like this. We just take the cord here. And we push it into here, and it seals perfectly, nice and clean. And then here's a set of these are Brodex DN9s. So to not be confused with the MBE, we did develop this for Brodex. But just to let you know, I would never give them something, I gave them something decent for sure, so they have something to sell. But certainly the MBE version has many advantages. So we do projects with Brodex a lot, helping them with development and things of that nature. We've been doing that since 2007, so there's a lot of trust there. It's a long relationship, and very fortunate to have that, and just very, very, very fortunate for that. So these are here. We're going to update them and everything. We'll never be able to make them as good as ours, but we'll certainly help things out in them. And you'll probably see them the next time we do a this week. You'll notice that the valve job, all that stuff's going to look completely different. It'll look like all the stuff we do. And here's a set of Mercedes heads. A gentleman was insistent that we port his Mercedes heads. It's typically not something we do, but we got the valves are here for him and everything. So this stuff will go together this week. We have the PSI valve springs for it. That's a special valve spring just for the overhead cam stuff. So if any of you guys are interested in that, we can supply retainers. We can supply the retainers and the valves or anything for this. Not a big deal. And the valve springs. And it is a PSI valve spring, so you get something that will really, really work, not OEM stuff. And that's about it, Mr. Biggs. Oh, no, it's not. That's not true. We got a set of max pulls right here. So we just did a set of max pulls. They're completely finished. So these are for a power adder. They have a convex on the intake valve, which makes it very strong, but we can still put a dish in it. It has a soft chamber in it. So this is a 2500 inch 830 valve stuff that we do. It is a conventional head. And these are set up for drag racing or truck pulling or things like that, or, well, if it's a power adder, whatever, turbocharged, whatever you want to do, nitrous, all this stuff set up and ready to go. So we have a set of these completely finished and ready to go. And we got everything else to go with them. So you're not going to have to wait for valves or rockers or any of that. The whole system's ready to go. Other than that, we have T&D's been coming through. We got a bunch of big 9 rockers that came in, so we have inventory of that, so we're not going to have to wait the 20 weeks for rockers for that. I suggest if you're thinking about it, put your name on a set, because when we run out, eventually it's going to be 20 weeks. And we have some max pull stuff that's come in, like for these, some rockers. But again, just get your name on them, and that's it. So that's this week at MBE. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and have a great week.